Well, it's definitely a short break. We played one game against Wolfsburg, which we won, which was a good result. And now we're back in the Pokal against SC Freiburg. And we're playing Hamburg again. So it's a classic bounce back game for them. We have to be wary. Chances are we'll beat Freiburg and they'll whip us 5-0 or something like that. So, something to look forward to. So let's get to it. My name's FM21, and this is the Red Devils Rising. Seriously, not a whole lot happened. We played Wolfsburg and we beat them 3-0 thanks to goals by Bloom, Gubbels, and De Gracke, all within 6 minutes of each other. Until then, it was pretty much an even game. Twazi went off with a minor injury, so did Florian Held. But other than that, it was a fairly solid game. I was really kind of expecting the draw, but then right after we scored, Wolfsburg just gave up the ghost. I mean, the Bloom goal was nice. The Gubbels goal was unexpected. The De Gracke goal, even more so. We had 11 shots, 6 on target, to their 14 and 6. We had 2 off target. We didn't have any woodwork hits. We had 2 half chances and 3 long shots. The long shots are a little bit concerning, but as long as most of our shots on target aren't long shots, I'm okay with that. So the transfer window is definitely closed. The free transfer window is definitely closed. I'm still kicking myself over signing the guy who's already played for 2 teams, so he can't play this season. And apparently, I've got a lot of players who are disappointed in me because of promises. Disappointed in how the promise is progressing. Disappointed in how the promise is progressing. And yet, when I go here and go to promises, I'm not seeing anything from Skip or Gubbels. Sorry, George hair on my nose there. So, I don't know what exactly they're talking about. Something tells me this summer could be really interesting. Gennaro wants the left side of the field to improve, and I'm playing youngsters over there. Failing that, I've still got Marlon Ritter on the squad, and totally blanking on his name now, and it's because I just literally looked at it. Lazar Markovic, who could play over there too. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. So Cheer Decker is I'm almost positive I'm pronouncing his first name wrong, is our new keeper for the rest of the season. Dutch. He's from Holland. He's got potential. He's got 4-star potential. His natural fitness is taking a hit because he's just coming off an injury. No flair, no off the ball, which is slightly concerning, but everything else is nice. The first touch needs to be worked on as well, and we are working on that. I think he's got potential to be almost as good as Mazzini. If not, well, we got Drews on the bench, and once the other team scores 2 goals, he tends to settle down pretty quickly. So that said, today we are playing Freiburg. They are in 15th place, so we have a chance. And I got to switch him to winger. And this is who we're playing. We got Decker in goal, Ranieri, Vejger, Jamelka, and Magahalis as the defensive back 4. Gallagher and Skip as the midfielders. Held and Gubbels as the attack midfielders. De Gracke and Muntno up top as the strikers. So the creator of this skin, Danny Dots, is working on a version 3. I'm really looking forward to it. Since I've loaded up this skin, I haven't really looked at any others, to be honest with you. I like this one too much. The one thing I did do was I added in the Michael Murray in-game, in-game stats. Okay, we'll bring on Arjau for De Gracke. Just got injured. He's a poacher advanced forward. It's Muntno. Muntno's a little bit of everything. So you know what? Those two are going to switch positions. Hopefully De Gracke is not out for long. Zhang cuts across the top of the box, takes the shot. Decker's right there to stop it. Magahalis on the throw-in. Jong steps in front of it, bangs it across the field, but Ranieri's there. He heads it down to Held. Gallagher feeds Held to Montano. Gubbles back to Magahalis, takes the shot, and he absolutely launches a rocket that finds the back left corner of the net. That was well struck. Oh, backheel pass there. Nice assist from Gubbles. I thought Gubbles was going to drive forward and take it because the defenders had kind of collapsed in. Chang-hoon back to Gill, Dimitrovic, and they equalize. How is he not offsides? If I'm thinking he's offsides, it's not exactly fractional. Held, back to Ranieri. Ranieri driving forward, dumps it off to Held. He drives forward in the box, launches a... Oh, Erjau got the floating cross and headed it off the crossbar. Gubbles with the corner kick. Short to Held. He gets it to Gallagher. Skip. Back to Gallagher. Back out to Magahalis. Over to Bejger. Bejger crosses it in, and it's in the crowd and knocked away. Gubbles drops it off to Skip. He kicks it and it bounces out of bounds. And that, it's 40 minutes. Schotterbeck on the throw-in, gets it back. Dimitrovic is there. McAfee gets the ball and he puts it away. McAtee, rather. I saw there's McAfee. No, it's McAtee. He was the recipient of a very lucky bounce. Yeah, I can't blame Decker for that. Skip to Gallagher, who gives it away to Schotterbeck. Chang-hoon to Schotterbeck, back and forth. Templeman gets it out to McAtee. Or McAtee. He drops it off to Gill, back to McAtee. Back out to Gill on the right. McAtee, top of the box, crosses in. Zhang's there and hits the post and goes in. Wu Yong Zhang. Okay. He's probably one of those really quick, pacey South Korean wingers. Yeah, the defenders were just... That was poor defending, fellas. Come on, let's get it back. Kickoff, highlight, Bejger. To Jamelka, up to Skip. Over to Gubbles. He drives forward, takes the shot, wide left. That's not what we need, Willem. And that is halftime. 5 shots, 1 on target. We are not doing well at all. To be honest, I don't remember what we promised the board we would do. 60 minutes in, first highlight, Gill to Chang-hoon. Almost dispossessed, gives the ball away. Bejger to Decker. He gives the ball away to Gill. That was a bad pass. Decker had to clear it quickly. Gill, Templeman, McAtee, and Decker, a nice block. Chang-hoon, Bejger knocks the ball away. Zhang's going to run it down. Santa Maria gets the ball, bounces it off a player, gets it back. Schotterbeck stops it from going out of bounds. Gets it to Zhang. He crosses the box to McAtee. Chang-hoon's there, bounces it off. Skip knocks out of bounds. We're going to make a couple of changes. We're going to bring on Gennaro for Skip. We're going to bring on Felicioli for... Felicioli. I still don't know how to pronounce that. Felicioli for Magahalis. Arjau's off the field. What's going on with him? Held gets it to Gubbles. We're a man down. Gubbles tries crossing in, Leinart knocks it away. Butterfield to Templeman. Back to McAtee. Centers it to Mitrovic all alone. And he buries it. What the heck's going on? What happened to Arja? Was he... I really don't want to watch it again. It was a brilliant effort by Templeman. Or Demirovic, rather. Templeman got it started. Ranieri just kicks it away to Schlotterbeck. Back to San Maria. To Schlotterbeck. San Maria. Kunde. And he pushes it just wide right. What the heck is up with Arja? Held is injured. Arja was... whatever was going on with him, he seems to be okay. And we lose in the Pokal, 3-1 to Freiburg. Too many injuries. Wu Yongzhong. Yep. Okay. Fingers crossed. See what happens. What did we promise the board in the Pokal? They want us to reach the third round, so we did really well there. Graka out 3 to 4 weeks. So it looks like it's going to be Arjau, Gubbles, and Mutno for the next 3 weeks. I've got a couple youth players I could bring on as well, but I'd rather not do that. The big thing is that I usually don't play one game or one striker formations. I'm not a fan of them. I mean, I started out my FM career playing a 4-2-3-1. It did okay, but about halfway through I switched to a 4-2-4, and I really liked it. And then I switched to variations of a 3-5-2 and a 4-3-3 and things like that. I don't know. Personally speaking, I always like having 2 strikers. Truba. He is a youth striker. He's got some potential. He wanted a new contract. I told him at the end of the season, and he got upset. But if some of these over here were a little bit higher, I'd play him a little bit more, or I would get him loaned out. So, we'll have to see. Failing that, I could also put him on the transfer window and see if there's any teams out there who are interested in him. Because he's here till next season. We really had our chances against Freiburg. We just did not make the most of them. Flessner's a striker with potential. Who's the other one? Is it Kraus? No, he's my winger of the future if Thacke doesn't pan out. Was it Lucas Bernat? It might be Lucas Bernat. No. He's got potential, though, too. He's got a ton of potential. I got all these youth players with a ton of potential. I mean, look at that. It's just getting them playing time and getting them out there is going to be a task. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We're going to keep scouting Tobias Nissen in here. We'll add him to the potential future transfers. He's at Friedrichstadt, 21-year-old winger. Wow, he's fast and pacey. Good determination. We'll have to keep an eye on him. On the hammer, we will keep scouting. Hero, we will keep scouting. Usually if they're over 70, I'll keep scouting them. If they're below 70, I won't. But the fact of the matter is, even some of the players who are in your 60 to 69 range are still solid players. They're those guys who know their role and play it very well. They might be like a 3-star potential player, but it's a good 3 stars that are really good for the area they play in. I think a primary example... good grief. I wish I was better with names. I had a player on my Dunkirk save who was 3-star current ability, 3-star potential ability, but he was a defensive center back, and all of his attributes that he needed to play defensive center back really, really well were really, really good. I mean, like 15 plus. And he was considered a world-class defensive center back, even though there were defensive center backs out there who, in terms of potential, had more than he did and were like 4.5 or 5 stars. But this guy was just... he was solid. I mean, he was at the club the better part of 12 years. And he never got more than 3 stars. But, you know, he never got injured. He was, you know, kind of the unsung hero. He was always there. And, okay. Gubbles there. Twazi. Gubbles is not doing too well. So we're going to get him off. So it's mostly a rotated side today. Well... it's not mostly a rotated side. It's still fairly rotated. We got Drews in goal, Bejker, Bailey, LaCroix, Felicioli as the defensive back four, Swiderski and Skip as the midfielders, Thaki and Twazi as the attacking midfielders, Mutno and Arjau up top as the strikers. Take a look at Anthony LaCroix. He is a 21-year-old defensive center back who can also play on the right, 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. I think he's got a decent amount of potential, especially if he gets some playing time. So this is one of the things that, especially this late in the season, well, we're in the second half of the season, and we're not getting relegated. It is mathematically impossible, at least according to the reporters from the last game, for us to get relegated. So one of the things we're going to do, especially against weaker opponents, is play the youth players, play the younger players, and see how well they develop. So Anthony LaCroix, he's definitely got potential. He's got a couple more years to fill it out. It's been my fault. I haven't been playing him all that often. Lately, though, the past few games have been more about winning. Swiderski. Twazi. Thaki, and he scores. How on earth did that go in? That was such a tight angle. They're going to call him offsides. Even so, even if he was onside, I'm not quite sure how the ball went in because it was like almost a straight shot across the front of the net. Arjau steps in front of it, but he can't get it. Lang ends up with the ball. He's shadowed, gets the ball back to Young. Ozturk back to Young. Long pass towards Apuku, and Decker, a very nice stop. Now, we know Hamburg can definitely do things. They took us to penalty kicks in the Pokal. Thaki went in hard. Bejker on the throw-in. Muntno back to Bejker. Swiderski to Bejker to Swiderski. He sends it in. Oh, it goes too far. Skip on the other hand. Oh, what happened there? It looks like it got headed away, maybe, or volleyed away, and just landed right at Skip's foot. I don't even think he let that hit the ground. I think he just volleyed it in. Bejker to Swiderski. Fernandez just punched it away, and Skip just freaking Bruce Lee front kicked it. That was a heck of a shot. Bejker to Thaki, who gives the ball away. Ozturk back to Kinsombe. Damata to Young. Back to Damata. Ozturk gets it. Kinsombe out to Apoku, was left alone, and he absolutely buries a laser shot. Holy cow. I blinked and it was in the goal. That's how fast it was. Challenge for the header, and he missed. It's okay, guys. Coming up on halftime. It's 1-1. We've had 8 shots, 4 on target. They've had 7 and 3. And there have been no highlights this second half so far. We're a little bit past 60 minutes in, so let's take a look and see who or what we can bring in. We're going to move LaCroix over and take Flikioli's spot, and we're going to get Jamelka on. We're going to bring on Gubbles in place of Arjau and switch him and Montano. And we're going to bring Zadas on and bring Thaki off. Fernandez sends it long, goes right to Zadas. He taps it up for Gubbles, who is dispossessed. Ball was kicked away. It was a nice defensive play. Zadas drops it off to Swiderski. Short, he gets it over to Zadas. He sends it in. It goes all the way through the box. How is he offsides? Wouldn't that technically mean he was offsides when the corner was kicked? I really don't want to say anything because we're coming up on extra time. LaCroix to Montano. Back to LaCroix. To Skip. Turns around, gives the ball to Swiderski. Back to Skip. Up to LaCroix. He drives forward. Takes the shot. Fernandez punches it in the air. Oh, good grief. Kuchno driving forward. LaCroix gets in his way, but the ball ends up at Morrison's foot. LaCroix dispossesses him. Holy cow. He's playing like that all the time. Maybe I should play him more. Montano. Oh, he's swarmed, but he gets the ball back. Finally, Bejka ends up with it. Drives forward. He's fouled by Kuchno. Zadas sends it in. Knocked away. D'Amato's going to get there before anybody in Kaisersalutern uniform can. That's the game. We had our chance. We had our chances. We just... I wonder. One of the things I know I am not a huge fan of is when you get the pregame suggestions and it defaults to for all games going forward. And that's what happened. See, I like to work the ball in the box, but there was a game where they suggested shoot on sight, so I selected shoot on sight. And I totally missed it last episode. Oh, low crosses. Take shorter kicks. Distribute to the playmaker. Okay. Well, not the best results there. I mean, the draw is not losing points, so I'm okay with that. As a matter of fact, I do believe, I was going to say it was the first draw we had all season, but it's obvious we've had 2 more. I don't know what that's because the score, that's because this is busted. It's only showing home games. So that'll be fixed in version 3. So we're sitting in 8th on 33 points, which is a solid place to be. It's mid-table. And we got an outside chance at European football, but I'm not aiming for that. You know, as long as we finish the season mostly healthy, I'm going to be happy. Gubbles leads us with 16 goals and a 7.19 rating. Florian Held and Marco DeGracca, each with 7 assists. DeGracca, 5 Players of the Match awards. Jamelka and Malga Hollis, 9 yellow cards. Malga Hollis is one of those conundrums for me. He's really good, but he hates big games and important matches. And just, he gets not a lot of yellow cards. I really think they've done some of the match in this year where they've really cut down on yellow cards. If you go back and look at some of my previous saves, the high-end one especially, we were a yellow card machine. Didn't matter. You go back into like Boston, Enfield Town, and things like that. Didn't matter which team I took over. We were a yellow card machine. They could have 40 yellow cards the season before I got there and freaking 110 the season I got there. So it was just unreal. So I think what we're going to do is come back for Augsburg and SC Werder. And then the last 2 games of the season will be Borussia Mönchengladbach and Mainz. And then we'll do an end-of-season review and see how we're set up for next season. Budget-wise, for the moment, we've got $17 million on the transfer budget. I've got $120,000 plus to play with in the payroll. Contracts-wise, From Ilarugi. Oh, Mutno's a lone player. But you know what? If I could bring him in full time, I would. Warrington is a young Canadian I signed who is not eligible to be here yet. But Ritter, Bailey, Markovic, Rhea, and Francisco leaving I'm not really upset about. It also clears up a decent amount of payroll. I've tried moving Ritter. There have been no takers for him, and he knows it. He's just not Bundesliga quality. He's kind of in that spot that Kenny Prince Redondo was, where it's, he's good, but he's not good enough. But between them, they're also making, 22, 16 is 38, 58, 67, 82,000 euros a week. So, and they're all older as well. I think, let me see. Yeah, see, this is what kills me. He wants an important player contract. No, I will give you a squad player contract. Suggest promises. Walk away. This is... Who was that? That was... This guy here, Robert Sakaj, 20 years old, and he wants an important player contract with those stats, with those attributes. It's not happening. It's not. I think anybody who would sign him to an important player contract for that would be a freaking idiot. And something tells me Ali Amir is the same way. Offer new contract, important player. You're not an important player. I will give you a squad player contract, though. Walk away. And that is why they are not getting new contracts. Jesus, wept. Of course, Jesus probably wept our last couple of games, too. The Freiburg game was just a kick in the teeth. We should have done better there. The Hamburg game, we should have done better there, too. But coming off, we played Freiburg 2 days earlier, and it wasn't our strongest squad. And going forward, I doubt I'll be playing our strongest squad every game. I want to get the younger players a chance at playing time. The older players are going to sit on the bench, probably just make them available for the under 23s, and we'll go from there. It was not the best episode, I'll be the first to admit that, but we'll do better. And then it's all about next season and finishing high enough to qualify for the good European football next season. If we qualify for Europa 2 Cup, I'm not going to complain. That's additional money, that's extra games, which the guys will need. So, but I'm thinking 2 or 3 more seasons tops, and we'll go from there. So, if you did like what you've seen and heard, please like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I'll answer those as fast as I can. And it's FM21, and I thank you for watching.